So that rain came down and all that water came up. And remember that it covered the whole earth. The hills were covered. Then the little big hills were covered. Then the little mountains were covered. Then the tall mountains were covered. And even further, it was like way above the tall mountains. The only thing that was on that water was that little ark. Well, it was a big ark, but compared to the whole world, it was not that big. And that ark was a little picture. There were 8 people in it. It was a little picture of being safe with Jesus, just like Noah and his wife and his children, his Shem and Ham and Japheth were safe, and their wives were safe in that ark. When we trust in Jesus, we are like that too. God was making the world new, but now all that water had to go. It didn't just, when the 40 days were up, Noah did not go out of the ark because there was water everywhere. And the water just drifted on and on and on. The ark drifted around. But God remembered Noah. He remembered Noah's wife and Shem and Ham and Japheth. He remembered their wives, and he remembered all those lions and tigers and cats and dogs and creeping things. He remembered all of them. And God sent a big wind. And the wind blew and blew and blew. And some of that water gradually went up and up and up. But it took a long time. That little ark, day after day after day after day, was just drifting along for 150 days. And then one day there was a bang. The ark landed. It landed on top of a mountain, on one of the mountains of Ararat. Well, Noah waited for a long time. And in the 10th month, that means almost like a couple hundred days have already passed, Noah saw out of the window the tops of the mountains. They were clear. Then he waited another 40 days. And then he lifted off the top. It was getting dry. Well, sure, I shouldn't say that. He did not lift up the top yet. No, that was near the end. What he did is, after that, he opened the window and he let out a raven, a black raven. Well, ravens can fly for a very, very long time. Then he also let out a dove. Well, the dove flew around for a little while, and then the dove came back. And Noah put his hand out the window, and the dove landed on it, and he took it into the ark. So he waited another 7 days. And then he opened that window again, and he put out the dove. The dove flew around, and at nighttime, the dove came back. And this time, it had a freshly plucked leaf in its mouth. Oh, said Noah, that means there's leaves on the trees again. That means the land is becoming dry. And then they waited a little longer, and the next 7 more days, and he let out that dove again. This time the dove did not come back. Oh, said Noah, that means that the dove has found enough places to eat and to stay. She doesn't need to come back. But then they still waited another one. And that's when they took the covering off. And then finally, after almost a whole year of being in that ark, Noah opened the door, and all those animals, you can imagine how they were probably so excited to be outside again. They came out and the birds flew away and all those animals came out, and Noah and his wife and Shem and Ham and Japheth, they all came out of the ark. And the very first thing that Noah did, he made an altar. He worshiped God. He got stones and he put some like this and he put some like this. And then he put them higher, and then he took some of those clean animals. Remember, there were 7 of the clean animals. He took a lamb, and he killed that lamb. And that blood again was a picture. I need to have my sins covered, my sins forgiven. And someday a Savior will come. And then he probably took some pigeons and some goats, the Bible said, of many clean animals. And it says that God, when he saw that the first thing that Noah did is make that offering, it was like a sweet smell to God, because he loved that Noah was doing that. And then God said, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to destroy the whole world with a flood again. As long as seed time and harvest, summer and winter, daytime and nighttime will always be. And then he said to Noah, Noah and his wife, this is what I want you to do. I want you to multiply. I want you to be fruitful and multiply and fill this earth, because everyone is going to come from you now. And I want you, just like I gave you the green herb, like vegetables, now you may eat meat too. But I don't want you to eat the blood, because the life of the animal is in the blood. But you may eat the animals. And then Noah said, you may not kill people, because if you do, man is made in God's image, so you need to protect it. And then God gave a great sign to Noah. He said, I'm never going to destroy the whole world with a flood again. And I'm going to give you a sign. I'm going to make a rainbow in the sky, a beautiful rainbow in the sky. And when I see that rainbow, I will remember my covenant. God said, I'm going to make a covenant. You know what the word of covenant means? It means friendship. God's going to make a covenant with the whole earth. Noah and his wife and Ham and Shem and Japheth and all their children, but also to the animals. He's going to make a covenant, he said, that he will never destroy the whole world with the flood again. And all the people of the earth came from Noah and those 3 sons. And that is the end of that story.